viewers, welcome to another power-packed episode of your favorite program, The Voice of Eve. In this episode, we shall discuss the topic, cybercrime and its effect on the Nigerian youths. I am your host, Flora Ungo Martins. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
I'm a student. I just finished from school some months ago, and in school, I would say like 80% of the boys in school are into this thing, and it derails them of their academics, moral life, crimes increase, different vices increase because of this cybercrime. Lack of respect. Imagine you driving a car that you cannot afford. A car of 50 million naira, you're driving is in the same school where you're meant to study. It just makes you forget about school. You want to live a life your parents cannot afford to live. It's something that is very, very bad. And after then, something came up, they call it G plus or Yahoo plus. That was like you have to do these rituals, because the white men were now smart then. They could not just explain them anymore.
Cybercrime is not good. Cybercrime is not good. Not a good thing. And it's just like when we are stealing other people's money. It's just like stealing. So it's not good at all, and it's not advisable. If you are a youth and you really want, there are other ways you can make your money instead of all this going into cybercrime.
Cybercrime simply means the use of internet and the computer by people to commit crime. Do you also know that cyber terrorism, spam, internet fraud has all been identified as cybercrime, caused mainly by urbanization, caused also by erosion of societal values, and a cultivation of a crime value in the society. Now, cybercrime has also been caused by weak implementation of the laws of the land. Youth, as we all know, the youth of a nation are the trustees of posterity, as they would say. But what happens when the youth are involved in cybercrime? What effect does this have on the minds of the leaders of tomorrow? We have with us, luckily in the studio, a student who is also a youth and a data analyst to discuss this and many more. His name is Mr. Oluwaseun David Wilkie. You're welcome to this program.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay. Cybercrime. The media is awash with this. What exactly causes the youth to get involved in this awful venture?
Impatience.
Okay, how?
And impatience is a result of timing.
Okay.
We no longer want to wait we the youth especially, we no longer want to wait for our time to make money.
Okay.
We want to make money at a very early age of our life, or which desire for achievements comes in. When there's a lot of people desiring to achieve things at a timely age. For instance, I want to make money so that I can be able to impress all my colleagues, or I want to impress my friends. I want to take them out, catch fun, and make people feel that I've arrived. So all these things becomes as a result of peer pressures also. What do I mean by peer pressures? My so-and-so Mr. Abe child have made his own first million in 2 years ago. Meanwhile, I'm still here pursuing my own master, or I'm still here running after my first degree. So all those things come into play.
So the comparison analysis comes into play. So that has a very key role for these youths to just,
go into cybercrime.
Okay, but for me, I don't see how, if Mr. A has done this, that, and they achieved it from hard work, I don't think it's much of a pressure. Can you just elaborate more on this?
Now, one of those things that is in town that people know that is sharp way of making money, I'll use the word,
yes,
is going into Yahoo.
Okay.
Yahoo boys.
Okay.
Say, if you don't see that Yahoo boy, for instance, in word, commitment is the word. You know, say that Mr. So don't make money. What thing they do? You don't buy house, you don't buy car, you don't do this thing. You are still here running after 1 degree of it thing, or you are still here looking for a job. Meanwhile, me, I don't they chop money. For instance, they spend more, and because of what they spend, you don't have that resources to spend up to what they spend. For instance, because they don't go through the stress of what we've gone through. going through the stress here does not mean mental stress alone.
Okay.
So I mean, for instance, they are not under a boss that can give them pressure of doing this, meeting up deadlines.
Okay.
So meeting up deadlines could actually be a way of putting somebody in a stress and mental disorder sometimes also. So because these people are not going through all those things like bosses, no bosses to tell them do this, as a result of that, they have now made it to become, my own way of making money is easier, and I'm making more money than you are, and I'm spending than you are. So all those things becomes as a result of desire to have money, not even the value for money.
Okay, so the desire to just, this causes them to now go into a quick crime.
Into a quick crime.
Okay. So we know that cybercrime has been around for quite some time. But can you just tell us the different types of cybercrimes we have now?
We have software piracy,
okay.
We have the pornography,
okay.
We have the spamming, and we have other various ways of cybercrime. But these are the three major ones presently that are used.
So software piracy, you have pornography and spamming. Okay, for the viewers out there, I would like them to know more about this pornography. Let's start with pornography. You know, an ordinary person listening to this program would be like, okay, pornography, well, I'm watching this porn for myself. I am not, you know, injuring someone in the process. I'm not harming another person. I'm not being violent. It's just for my consumption. So why would I be classified as a cyber criminal? You know, why? So what exactly, can you just expatiate on why pornography is also a cybercrime?
Most times, the word pornography does not really mean you are the only one watching it.
Okay.
Because sometimes this goes beyond the viewer alone. Okay. It goes to third party receiving, for instance, my friend is actually chatting with me and I feel like my friend should be actually triggered by what I'm doing. As a result of that, you start spreading the images that draws the minds of people, and we all know we have different mindsets.
Okay.
Each person might have their own way of controlling their own self-urges. Okay. Somebody that have a weak way of controlling his own self-urge, the next thing he might think about is that, let me get somebody that I can practice this with. That is now what means into rape of the thing that we see today.
So the pornography translates into rape at some point.
At some point.
Oh, I see. So that's why it's one of the cyber crimes.
Yes.
What about spamming? What does that mean?
Yes, spamming is sending irrelevant messages or sending messages of which people are not, information that people did not require for.
Really? So why would that be a cyber crime?
When you send information to me, for instance, that I didn't ask for it, and you are sending much of it, every time you are sending messages to me, disturbing me,
okay.
As a result of disturbing me, you are coming into my privacy. Because your messages can actually transit, your information can actually transit into different things. Can actually affect the mind of that person. Maybe it is an information that can lead to violence. It's an information that can actually lead to the person making some decisions of which it is not based on facts, but just based on maybe what you think or your own personal opinions.
Okay. So by the time the person keeps consuming the message, they would act on it, and that makes it also a crime. Yeah,
crime, and also affecting our society.
Oh, I see. Okay, now the main one, which is software piracy. Can you tell us about that?
One of those things, software is actually one of those, is the key tools in every industry.
Okay.
Because with software, you can actually run a lot of different applications.
Yes.
So of which it is not licensed. Getting the license one might cost a very high capital or might require you spending for instance, a company using a software for managing their information.
Yes.
And the next thing you do is that because you know that the company actually requires to get that information at a less cost, what you now do is that you do a pirate of it, affecting the person that initially invented that software, reducing that person's own way of making his own wealth, now helping yourself because you will sell more and you sell faster. High turnover will be in your own side at the expense of the other person's reward.
Okay. I know you said these are the three major types, but I know of another type of cybercrime that has been in existence. I don't know if that's what they call the Yahoo or the 419. I don't know, but it's called internet fraud. Can you tell us about that?
The 419 fraud, for instance now, I'm trying to give you something because I want something from you. And as a result of that, what I do is that I use your own, what you are thinking of, desire to get something from you.
Okay.
For instance, somebody in search of an husband or somebody in search of getting somebody to get married to. The next thing you do, you impersonate another person's identity so that you can be able to get the person's attention and start asking the person to send you, for instance, money or send you some information which could be used against that person.
What about identity theft?
Identity theft is also, in fact, I would say of all these types of cybercrime we have, one of those ones that people don't really pay attention to is the identity theft.
Okay.
Because this one is actually a way of jeopardizing someone's self-image and also reducing someone's reputation. For instance, I hack into your account and the next thing I start doing, I start asking for money from every of the people. For instance, I'm a pastor, for instance, or I'm a so and so. When I start asking people to send me money because I want to use it to make a particular project. Meanwhile, the person who has the identity is not actually asking for that. But you are already using it against that person, because the next time those people start sending all this money, they will realize that they will think that they were sending it to the person. Meanwhile, they were not actually sending to that person. So that period at which the person was not aware of this thing is actually going to reduce the person's reputation. If the person is not able to discover on time, it would have done a lot of damage to the person's image.
Okay. So I know we've been hammering on this, but I just feel it's really important that we keep talking about it. What is the reason for the influx of youth into cybercrime? Why is this thing thriving? There are other crimes out there. We've heard about, we've talked about rape, which is a physical crime. There's armed robbery, there's stealing, and there are other types. There's assault. There are different types of crimes. But why is cybercrime thriving? Why is it really thriving?
One of the reason why cybercrime thrives more than all these things,
for the youth,
especially, is because we know that most of the three things we have now, we have the internet, we have the computer, we have the mobile phone.
Okay.
If each and every one of us know that there is nobody that will be in a place that does not have one of these things.
Yes.
Is it that you have a mobile phone that has a data that can actually help you to link to other networks? And all these things, you can do it just sitting down in your room, your bedroom, without going outside. But for the armed robbery, you need to go outside. You can't do that in your room. For the term of rape, you must move outside to commit something physical, which you can be caught easily. But for the cybercrime, just sitting down, for instance, with my phone, I can be doing a lot of things just with my phone. Without anybody knowing that I was actually committing something. Even in the presence of somebody, you can be committing a lot of fraudulent activities, which those people are not aware, and you are all sitting down under the same roof. So cybercrime is more easier to go penetrate to different parts of the world. And
undetected for that. Oh, wow. Okay, so what effect does this cybercrime have on the Nigerian youths?
It leads into the word they call lazy youths.
Lazy youths.
Lazy youths.
Okay.
The reason why I said it is not, nobody is actually lazy in the real sense, but because we are in a country where, for instance, where there is no job, for instance, or they are not providing the environment for which to strive harder.
Yes.
So because of that reason, for instance, I went to a school, I studied a particular course. After I graduated from school, I cannot practice in my own field. I have to start thinking of what else to do. I get a job that they are telling me they are going to be paying me 15,000 naira for a month. How does that sustain me for a month?
Okay.
So
in this present economy,
the cost of where the cost of living is high,
has skyrocketed.
So the cost of living is high. So for that reason, somebody sees the next job that I can do a Yahoo and gets in a day can get over $1 million plus. So if you're in my shoes, you will prefer to go for the one that
is
you
it
will
that
do
lucrative?
less. Yes, it's more lucrative because I said initially that it has less capital investment but high returns.
Wow, wow. Wow. Is that the only effect it has on the Nigerian youth?
It's also leading to the world that people that start being discouraged from going into the white collar job.
Okay.
Because people no longer want to search for a job because they know that just with your laptop you can actually get money. So why am I working when I can get my money inside my room, under my roof? Why am I looking for a job where a boss can just raise all kinds of words against me? Meanwhile, with my laptop and myself, I can actually become a boss of myself.
Yes, well, that's not a bad thing in itself, except when you do it in a criminal way, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, but what effect does it have on the Nigerian society at large?
It also affects our reputation as a country.
Okay.
Because each investors want to come into different countries to invest their money. But because of the issues about the cybercrime, where a lot of people, investors from different parts of the world have been hearing something about, if you get to this country, you meet a lot of 419s. So nobody wants to trust you easily with their money anymore. No white man wants to just get to you to say, I want to share my ideas with you so that we can start up it, because they are also scared. What of in the nearest future, if something else, this person runs away with my money or end up killing me for that kind of reasons, and start getting the benefit of which we should invest to get a long-term benefit together.
Apart from this, are there other effects it has on the Nigerian society?
It also reduces the motivation to strive for an excellent job.
Okay, so...
And it also affects career growth.
Okay, and then the economy at large should be affected. It's a very serious thing. It's really serious. So how can we combat cybercrime in the society?
The truth is that cybercrime cannot be eliminated in a country.
Wow.
Not even only in Nigeria.
That's sad.
So it can never be eliminated. The only way it can only be minimized.
Okay.
And how can it be minimized? The best way to minimize it is by providing, for instance, good facilities so that people can strive to get more things, improve our infrastructure facilities so that we can be able to see people that have their own little ideas, bringing it into making better ways of making monies. Because money is one of those things that everybody wants to have. So if I want to have money and I see other legal ways of making my money, why would I go into a criminal way of making money? Changing the orientation of the youth, and also changing the orientation, the mindset behind making money.
So how do we change the orientation of the youth?
It goes back into redefining our value systems.
Okay.
So redefine our value system, trying to make them to see the reasons why this is right. Not telling me that I should stop going into cybercrime because you believe it's wrong. What is wrong for you might be right for me. So what is right for you might be wrong for me. So the best way is by understanding where the common ground is. And one of those common grounds is by letting them to understand that the best way you can actually build better capacity is by investing in yourself. And how do you invest in yourself? You acquire knowledge. Genuine knowledge that can be used to help other people. Because I always say something, a tool that is used for helping also can be used for a tool for hurting other people.
Oh, I see.
So the best way, think of the way of using that tool to help people, because technology was actually invented to help and not to harm other people.
So do you think the government is actually doing enough to combat cybercrime?
I wouldn't say they are not doing enough, but I would say they have not done up to what they should do.
Okay.
Because the only way that they can start helping is by providing, how will they say you are helping me where you are not giving me job? You can only help me if you are giving me something that can benefit me.
So you're saying that unemployment is another root cause of cybercrime. So if the government can provide jobs, enough job security for the youths.
And also empower the youths.
Okay, empower the youths, cultivate a habit of hard work, and give them that environment to grow. Then they will be able to combat cybercrime in some sort of way.
Yes.
What about the laws?
The policies also could come in place. Putting strict laws, and not just setting laws, not just putting policy, but also implementing them.
Okay.
Not saying it should favor this set of people, because we are in a country today, for instance, where the people that have it are the people that are beneficiary to the laws. Where you see that this person, because this person does not have the economic power to actually acquire something, for that reason you use it against that person. You send me to prison because I just took maybe one cup of gari, and you said somebody that embezzled 200 million, for instance, should be kept on bail after he can be able to pay maybe a less money to what he stole. So how do you encourage me as a youth? You don't encourage me by giving me. So the best thing is making everybody to be equal to the law. Okay,
so equality is another effect. So before we round up, can you just give us some tips for the youths out there? Tips on why they shouldn't go into cybercrime, and tips on what they can do to make themselves better in the society, to make themselves useful tools in the society as leaders of tomorrow.
We should understand as youth that we are the leaders of tomorrow. And being a leader of tomorrow, you are an example to others. So you should see yourself like a role model. What you cannot do in the public, don't try to do it in the secret. So one of that, always have yourself a personal principles where you tell yourself that even if everyone are doing it, I'm not everybody, I'm myself. So believing in yourself is also very important.
Poverty is now seen as a disease, and we worship wealth in the society. How can this be battled? Because I want you to tell the youths out there, because these are the things that plays on their mindset. You said it, that the comparison analysis and all, they play on the mindset of the youths, and this pushes them into cybercrime. So how do they combat this problem?
Let them not see money as the value, but see what it is used for to get. Money is not the value. It is what you use in money to acquire that is the value. So let them understand that even if I don't have the physical cash, I have the idea, I can actually sell my idea out and also get money in returns, or get a reward in return.
One negative effect of cybercrime on the youth, so that this can leave a lasting impression in the minds of youth before they go into this, they need to think well. I want you to tell us one very important negative effect of cybercrime on the youth.
You can never change the past.
You can never change the past. That is perfect. So apart from you can never change the past, now that is for the youth, the negative. What about the government? One important negative effect cybercrime has for a government.
It will reduce the potentials of other investors. Because
reduce the potentials of other investors.
Because the more people invest in your country, the better your country become, and it also helps your country to grow better, and also attract your gross domestic product. It also helps, is a way also of improving your economy as a whole. So if the economy as a whole is good, it will also be a way of generating more revenue, and also increase the potentials of your country.
Okay. We know that cybercrime is as old as the internet itself, but we've also known that in recent times, what's been trending is the commission of this cybercrime by Nigerian youths who have been nabbed by foreign enforcement agencies. What effect does this have on the Nigerian society as a whole? Or has the Nigerian society just, dust off the shame and the stigma it's brought into the country, and it's, move on as usual to say, oh, it's not my concern?
The ground at which we are going to use in striving before now will become more strict.
Okay.
In terms of it won't be friendly as before. The people have to go through a lot of scrutiny so that before they can be able to trust the way of making their money. Legit way will no longer just be something people will believe in easily. People have to start scrutinizing to understand, how do this person just start making money? If your friend is making money at the age of 25, you need to be sure of how he's making his money. Is he really making it genuinely, or is he making it illegally? So a lot of people will no longer trust themselves easily, because they believe that if the people are doing it this way, that means you too, you must have gone into that way of making money. The word Yahoo Plus, people now say, anybody that you see that is making money at his tender age, you might start tagging it that you see this person have gone into the word Yahoo Plus. If you see that maybe somebody just lost his or her parents, or lost somebody related to it, the next thing that comes to your mind is that, are you sure this person have not done this to this person? So a lot of things in terms of trust will come in, and if trust starts becoming a barrier, it will also reduce our potential as investors. It will discourage a lot of people from trusting into this country, Nigeria, and as a result of that, foreigners will no longer want to come into our country to invest their money. They will prefer to go into other countries to invest their money. And that is going to affect our growth as a country, which will become a backward growth,
Wow, that is very serious. There's this thing about the cybercrime. I learned they make the monies and they invest it in startups, So how do you even scrutinize this as a hardworking, legitimate Nigerian trying to survive in the world of crime and law? How do you fish these things out?
The sources of every income should be traceable.
But their investors, do you go about tracing their income, or what?
There's no way that whoever is investing his money must have a way he's making his money.
Okay, so you have to ask questions
so that you can be able to get the source of that money.
So due process must be followed in all of that. Okay, thank you so much. It was nice having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Very informative and educative. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, viewers, you've heard it all. If there's anything we should take away from this discussion, is the fact that the lack of trust that has been caused by cybercrime, the perpetration of cybercrime, the lack of trust that foreign individuals and corporations have developed towards Nigerians doing business in Nigeria, and the fact that we have weak laws to implement in order to combat this menace called cybercrime. If there's anything we should know, is the awareness that has been created by the capture and the apprehension of some of these cyber criminals. This, if not anything, should serve as a deterrent to stop the menace called cybercrime in Nigeria. Thank you for watching. I am Flora Ungo Martins.